students. In our previous session, we have started our fourth lesson, that is weather and climate. Okay, we have discussed about different weather conditions in India. Okay, different places have different weather conditions. They are not same everywhere. Then we discussed about the factors like heat, moisture, wind. Okay, how they influence how they influence the time taken by the clothes to dry. Okay, and these conditions keep on changing. Okay, and we throughout the year we observe such changes daily. Now, what is we studied weather and climate in detail. So, what is weather? Weather is the atmospheric conditions prevailing at a place and at a given time. Okay, these conditions are short-lived. They are not for a longer duration, and we often expressed weather as hot, cool, dry, sultry, and we discussed that sultry is what? It is hot and uncomfortable kind of weather. Okay. Then we discussed about climate. Climate is what? Every season lasts for a particular period, and each season occurs at a particular time of the year. Okay, and then we studied that scientists observe the weather in a region for many years, and after studying a weather of a region for many years, they take a average. Okay, they take average weather condition. Okay, and the average weather condition of a place observed over a long period of time is called the climate of that region. Okay, climate is generally expressed as cool and dry, hot and humid, or hot and dry. Then children, we saw that the weather changes quite often due to changes in temperature, winds, and humidity. Okay, and a sum of total of all these elements define a weather. Then we studied elements of weather in detail. We completed 3 elements, that is temperature, air pressure, and wind. Okay, in the last session. Today we are going to learn moisture and precipitation. So children, what is moisture? Okay, the atmosphere we know that atmosphere contains vapor in it. Okay, it contains what? Water vapor in it. So the air that has greater amount of vapor, the air which contains greater amount of vapor in it, it is called as humid air. Okay, I have given you the definition of humidity in the last session. So the humidity which is present in the atmosphere is called as the moisture. Okay, we experience moisture because of the humidity which is present in the atmosphere. The proportion of moisture in the atmosphere depends on the temperature. So the quantity of moisture which is present in the atmosphere, it depends on the temperature of that region, children. Okay, air with higher temperature holds a greater amount of moisture. Air which is with higher temperature, it holds a greater amount of moisture. So this was about moisture, children. Okay, I'll again repeat. Moisture is what? It is the humidity which is present in the atmosphere. And what is humid air? The air that has greater amount of vapor in it. Okay, that is called as humid air. The proportion of in the atmosphere, it depends on what? It depends on the temperature. So air with higher temperature, the air in a region who has higher temperature holds a greater amount of moisture in it. Okay, so now moving ahead, we are going to learn the 5th element of weather, that is precipitation. Okay, we are going to learn 5th element of weather, that is precipitation. Now, what is precipitation? Children, no vapor is present in the atmosphere. So when the vapor in the atmosphere, it condenses. Okay, it condenses into water droplets. Children, condensation process we have been learning since 5th standard. In water cycle, we have learned about condensation. So what is condensation? It is the process of changing a gas to a liquid. Okay, the process of changing gas to in a liquid form. So see children, these vapors which are present in the atmosphere, they condenses, they get converted into water droplets or snow particles. Okay, so their showering on the earth is called as precipitation. So when they fall on the earth, okay, when these water droplets and snow particles, when they fall on the earth, that is called as precipitation. So the rainfall, snowfall, hailstorm, etc. are forms of precipitation. In this picture you can clearly see that. Okay, I'll zoom for you children. So how the rain falls on the earth, snow, sleet, hailstorms, okay, they all form because when the vapor in the atmosphere, when they actually, when it converts, when it condenses into water droplets, okay, they water droplets or snow particles, and when they fall on the earth, this process is called as precipitation. Okay children, now moving ahead, we are going to differentiate between weather and climate. Okay, now what is weather? Weather is described on the basis of the conditions prevailing at a given time. Okay, prevailing means what? Again I'll tell you, which is existing in a particular region. So how we are describing weather? We are describing weather on the basis of the conditions which are existing in a particular region and at a given time. And what is climate? Climate is described on the basis of conditions prevailing over a longer period of time. Okay, which are occurring for a longer period of time. Okay, we take a mean, we take an average reading of it. Okay, next is weather keeps changing frequently and we can experience the changes easily. Okay, weather is for short period of time, it is not for a longer duration, it keeps on changing frequently and we experience such changes easily. Changes in climate, whereas changes in the climate takes place over a long period of time. Okay, climate does not change quickly, it takes longer period of time. Okay, next is, okay, next is children, latitudinal position, height above sea level, nearness to ocean, oceanic currents, etc. are the factors that influence the climate. Okay, these are the factors. Okay, because of the latitudinal position, height above the sea level, nearness to the ocean, okay, oceanic currents, all these are the factors that influence the climate. Okay, which are what? Because of this, the climate may change, changes may observe. Okay, over here. Besides this, there are what? Mountain ranges, types of lands, local winds are other factors that influence the climate of a region. So because of all these factors, we can see that the changes can take place in a region. Okay, now here we studied about the elements. Okay, we studied about the elements of weather, which they used to influence the weather condition of a region, and these are the factors such as what? Latitudinal position, height above sea level, nearness to ocean, oceanic currents, and mountain ranges, types of land, different types of lands are observed. Okay, and there are local winds. Okay, these are the factors that influence the climate of the region. So children, this was our chapter. Okay, here our fourth chapter ends.